Before we continue, I'd just like to draw your attention to my revamped Patreon, where supporters can now receive a whole series of new benefits. Check out the link in the description box below. 6 months ago, I published a video titled The Last Shah: How Iran Changed from Western Ally to Enemy. It explains the rise and fall of the House of Pahlavi, the royal dynasty that ruled from 1925 until overthrown by the 1979 Islamic Revolution. But my choice of title appears, in light of the ongoing events in Iran, to have been premature. Far from Mohammad Reza Pahlavi being the last Shah of Iran, it appears that his son, the Crown Prince, may very well be the next Shah of Iran, an outcome few people took seriously just 6 months ago. So my question is, who is Reza Shah II, the pretender to the ancient throne of Iran? In my video, I showed how the British engineered the removal of the first Shah of the Pahlavi dynasty, Reza Shah, in 1941, having ruled since 1925. Reza Shah's pro-Hitler stance and awkward relationship with London, which at the time controlled Iranian oil, a hugely profitable industry, and would brook no interference with the massive profits flowing back to London, was replaced as Shah by his son, Mohammad Reza Pahlavi, who ruled until 1979. This Shah was toppled by a combination of widespread public discontent with his autocratic rule, his policies of rapid westernization, perceived corruption, and his close alignment with the United States. Suffering from terminal cancer, the Shah left Iran in January 1979, never to return, dying in Cairo, Egypt in July 1980. Married 3 times, Mohammad Reza Pahlavi had 5 children, including 2 sons. His heir is Crown Prince Reza Pahlavi, whom everyone is suddenly talking about today. Reza's battle to regain the throne of Iran has been in operation since his father's death, and he has doggedly pursued a way back to the throne since 1980. Born in October 1960 to unbelievable wealth and privilege, he was officially named as Crown Prince in 1967 when his father upgraded himself from king to emperor. Like his father, Reza was very interested in aviation and began training as a pilot when he was very young, making his first solo flight at the age of 11 and gaining his private pilot's license 1 year later. An officer cadet in the Imperial Iranian Air Force, in August 1978 he was sent to the United States to complete a 1-year pilot training program at Reese Air Force Base in Texas. He was just over halfway through this course with the U.S. Air Force when the Islamic Revolution broke out in Iran, and he left the program in March 1979. In September 1979, Reza returned to the U.S. to study at Williams College in Massachusetts, but dropped out in 1980. With his family now living in exile in Egypt, Reza enrolled at the American University in Cairo, but hardly attended, preferring instead to have private Iranian tutors. He has a degree in political science obtained by correspondence from the University of Southern California in 1985. When the Shah died, his widow, Empress Farah, declared herself regent. On his 20th birthday, on the 21st of October 1980, Reza declared himself to be the King of Iran, or Shah, with the regnal name Reza Shah II. But the US government refused to recognize Reza as the rightful monarch. Instead, Reza, living in the Kubey Palace in Cairo, began to build a group of pro-monarchists around him, but also facing rejection by left-wing Iranian dissidents who would not support a return to monarchy if the Islamic Republic was overthrown. This has meant that for 45 years, Reza has divided the opinion of Iranian dissidents and refugees who fled in 1979, between those who would support a restoration of the monarchy and those who would prefer an elected head of state. In 1982, the BBC got wind of a coup plot to put Reza on the throne in Iran. The power behind this plot has been reported to have been the CIA and Israeli intelligence, with support from Israeli Prime Minister Menachem Begin. Other high-profile plotters were Yaakov Nimrodi, an Israeli businessman and Mossad agent, Adolf Schwimmer, a US-born Israeli pilot and CEO of Israel Aerospace Industries, and the Saudi billionaire arms dealer Adnan Khashoggi. This plan was aborted when Prime Minister Begin was replaced by Yitzhak Shamir, who did not want to involve Israel in what he called, quote, a new adventure, end quote. However, it has subsequently emerged through investigative journalists that during the Reagan administration in the 1980s, Reagan authorized the CIA to support the Iranian exiles, including Reza. That support was, of course, financial. It is unclear whether such financing continues today, but it is interesting to note that Reza's U.S. residence in Great Falls, Virginia, is very close to the CIA headquarters, the hilariously named George Bush Center for Intelligence at Langley. From the 1980s onwards, Reza has devoted his energies to campaigning for human rights, democracy, and unity among Iranians, both inside and outside Iran. He believes that there must be a separation between religion and state in Iran, and free and fair elections for a democratic government. Unlike his father and grandfather, Reza wishes to be a constitutional monarch, like Charles III in my own country, rather than an absolute monarch like his forebears, effectively a unifying figurehead for a democratic Iran with a secular government. He has also maintained a close relationship with Israel, visiting the country in 2023 and meeting with President Yitzhak Herzog and Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. However, he was criticized in some Iranian circles for not condemning Israel's aerial bombardment of Iran in 2025, with several Iranian political prisoners labeling Reza a traitor to his country of birth in supporting the Israelis. Since the anti-government protests have broken out in Iran, Reza has been seen by many as the symbolic leader-in-waiting of the nation, with many protesters chanting for a return of the Shah and the widespread displaying of the old imperial flag of his father. Reza has called on Iranians to join the protests. It is clear that as no single Iranian leader inside or outside the country has emerged as a figurehead for this revolution, with only Reza Pahlavi being singled out and talked about. If the revolution succeeds, there is a very good chance that Reza may yet sit upon the peacock throne in Tehran. The re-establishment of a monarchy in Iran is seen by many, as I mentioned, as a retrograde step, many preferring a democratically elected leader, but the new Shah could sit above politics and become a unifying symbol in the aftermath of the revolution. However, it remains a fact that the current protests in Iran are the greatest opportunity Reza Pahlavi has had in over 40 years of actually returning to Iran as a king. It is very much a case of watch this space. Many thanks for watching. Please subscribe and share, and also visit my audiobook channel, War Stories with Mark Felton. You can also help to support both of my channels at PayPal and Patreon, details in the description box below.